None. I probably had tapped poor Calvin back there dry, my brother. And I had no resources, so I go in my closet and I'm crying out to God. I said, look, what are you, this is so embarrassing. I mean, I leave a job. I mean, Jeffrey, I was killing sales. Jeffrey tell you how good I was in sales. I was making real good money. But he didn't cut commissions, son of a gun. But anyway, so I needed that $3,250 really bad, and I was desperate. How many of you have been desperate? I was desperate. 72 hours, I need that $3,250. So I go in my closet, I fall on my knees, I cry out to God. I'm saying, what have you done here? This is embarrassing. Come on. I come out, anxiety so bad, I come out of that closet. And I look down, and when I look down, there was a real estate book on my bed. It was a real estate binder, and a lot of the real estate agents would advertise in there. So when I looked down, the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, listen, he said, I want you to throw a conference and call it, Don't Count the Days, Make the Days Count. I'm like, huh? And I've never. So I pick up the phone and start calling, hey, Stephanie Smith, real estate agent. This is Chad Blewin. Who? Chad Blewin. Who? Never heard of you. Now, this is Chad Blewin. And I got a big conference called Don't Count the Days, Make the Days Count, and you should come to it. And they were like, huh? Well, a man named Jim Talbot, I don't know if you're familiar with the LSU brand, but there's a guy named Jim Talbot. I ended up calling him. He's got a big real estate agency in Baton Rouge. Now, I didn't have any gas money to get to Baton Rouge, okay? But he tells me, when I call him, we connect. We talk about LSU a little bit. This is before I became Chad Blewin, LSU guy. We talk about LSU. He's like, look, Chad, I don't know what you're doing, bro, but if you want to, come down to the office tomorrow. I got 11 real estate agents, and you can tell them what you're doing, and if they want to come, they'll write you a check or pay for it. So, guys, I've got anxiety. I'm barely keeping my mind. And we serve Almighty God, man. I held on and held on. And so I get down there and I give them my Chad Blewin spiel. And as I'm talking, they're writing checks. This is back on checks. You remember when people used to write checks? And they're writing checks and they're throwing them on the table. And so when I got done, there were 11 checks for $50 a piece. So I had $550. Okay, now, look, it wasn't $32.50, but I could at least get a hotel room, a little gas, and survive for a couple of days. So anyway, I get home, and when I get home, my home phone was ringing. And I pick up the phone, and this guy on the other line. He said, hey man, my name's Dustin Willie, and you called me yesterday about this bid you got going. He said, I don't really know how to sell. Any chance you could kind of give me some tips on how to sell? And I said, well, sure, man, whatever, but yeah, you do this and do that. No. I was a master at sales. And so we do this. Well, in the middle of the conversation, Miss Galen, in the middle of the conversation, he says, how much? I said, how much for what? How much are you going to train me? Charge me to train me in sales? I said, brother, I've never trained. I wouldn't even know how to begin to know how to sell. Train you how to sell. I said, let me pray about it. So, man, I got off the phone, and I'm super spiritual this time, man. I get down on my knees. Lord, how much should I charge you? God said $3,000. I said, that ain't happening. Ain't no way I'm about to call this kid and tell him $3,000. $3,000. Lord, are you sure? $3,000. All right. So I call him back. Mr. Willie, Chad Blewin here, man. Listen, man, I prayed about it. And look, man, I'll do it for $3,000? He said, $3,000, man, that's all you're going to charge? When can we start? I said, tomorrow. That kid met me at Frank's Restaurant on the Airline Highway because I got a deal. I felt bad, $3,000. Because I only needed $3,250, so I cut it to $2,700. So he handed me 27 $100 bills. And guess what? You want to know how I know it was God? 5 days later, he called me and said, brother, keep the money. I don't have time for you to train me. And I never doubted God since then. And the rise, we've had bumps and bruises, we all do. It's all happening. I mean, some people say that's chance. There's no way that's chance. You just don't give somebody $2,700 bills, $2,100 bills and tell them no.